book club? Flowers for the Storm. Is that what we're doing? By Kahany.
Flowers for the Devil.
Flowers for
Why
the
do
Devil.
I keep saying Flower for the Storm? It's Flowers
I
for the
know.
Devil.
Because there's a storm on the cover. This is a
That's
snowstorm.
probably what it is. I think there's actually a historical romance book called Flowers for the Storm, I feel like. But yeah,
Oh.
Flowers for the Devil by Kahany.
If you hear knocking, I'm just trying to tell my dog to shut up. Sorry. Sorry. He's always barking.
Let me bring out these old banners. It's been a while. Oh my goodness.
It has been a while. We're rusty.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you do
What are you
banners?
currently reading?
Look how professional we are.
I know. I don't even do that. Topics? We have topics at this book club? Wow. We're fancy.
Wow. Fancy. No, we just, it keeps us on track because we will just like go off on tangents the entire time.
Don't tell my book club that's the key to that. We need to start putting banners. We'll keep
It's
us
just kind
on
of
topic.
like
Hey,
let's
this
get
was
back to
April's
the
idea.
topic. Yeah.
April
You know
actually
me.
got us organized on the banners.
Wow.
Sometimes I forget to use them, but that's a whole different story.
I'm impressed.
So what are you guys reading right now?
I'm reading Damsel by Evelyn Skye right now.
Oh, did you watch the movie?
No, I know it's on Netflix. I'm gonna finish the book and then I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, I bought that. My daughter and I bought that, and she promptly lost it. It's in her room somewhere, so I didn't ever read it, but I wanted to read it because I heard the ending was different than the show.
It reads pretty YA so far.
Yeah,
Which
that's what
I thought I was getting an adult book when I bought it.
Oh no, I kind of knew it was YA because I was like, maybe that's a fun one for like my daughter. She's 12, and I to read together because we both watched the show together. So that's how I was like, I know it's going to be younger, but yeah. I really liked the movie though; it was fun.
I mean, I'm not hating it.
Yeah, it's just like a fun, fantasy romance. Anyways,
I'm hoping there's some romance in it.
oh wait, maybe is it a fantasy romance? I can't remember.
There haven't been any in the 120 pages I've read so far, so
I think only the beginning where like she's kind of betrothed to the prince.
well,
Maybe that's the romance part.
it wasn't very romantic.
What about you, Crystal?
I am currently reading with my graphic audio Iron Flame. I'm halfway through that. So trying to push through, but I'm trying to fit in one more novella for the vlog for tomorrow to post, and that's the Midwinter Mail Order Bride by Katie Wilde. It's like 180 pages.
Yeah,
It's actually good. So I'm like, I want to actually talk about this. So
I read that one. I liked it. I know. I'm only getting 2 for the vlog. That's all I can finish.
Hey.
So bad. I'm so bad.
I did one book one time.
One is one. One is one. I am reading Woven by Gold. Buddy reading it with Hannah, and Jess is supposed to be joining us, but she's stuck on book 1. And then I also
Why choose one?
Yeah, the Why Choose Beauty and the Beast one. I really like it. It's fun. And then I kind of started One Little Nightmare by Dawn Darling. That one is super weird. She's like, or somebody's in an insane asylum because they talk to gods or something. I don't know. I'm like barely in it, like 10%. I don't know what's going on. All I know is somebody's in the nut house or the insane asylum, whatever you call it. I was like, whoa, okay. It's pretty dark already.
Terry's reading Knockout by Sarah Christine. I know you like that one.
My favorite. I love that.
I haven't read that one, but I do want to read it.
Okay. So, should we start with ratings?
Yeah, there we go. There's the bear. Gotta get back in rating.
Okay.
All right. Let's go first.
Becky, why don't you go first since you're our guest?
Thanks. I really liked this. I gave it 4.5 stars.
Hmm.
It was almost a 5 star for me.
Nice.
And I think for me, I landed at 5 stars. So I was I really liked it. So I think it's my first 5 star of the year. Is it? Yeah, I think it's my first like
Ah,
non-reread first 5 star of the year. So not too bad.
I think this is my highest rated book so far of the year.
nice.
So
Freaking dishes. Uh, I landed at 4, but I am conflicted about the book, which we will talk about. I was kind of bouncing between a 3 and a 4, and I just round up when I get conflicted. So,
yeah.
um, my thoughts were this book is beautifully written. Like, it's very beautifully written.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think it's just the type of reader I am. This is a more character developed book, and it was very slow. A lot of parts that I didn't really care about. Like, to be honest, I didn't really care about the like her going to the nobles' houses for dinners and stuff like that. I just didn't care about any of that. Um, and the romance. So for me, this is like too overly romantic for me. Like, I'm such a cynic, and it was too fluffy, and okay. The first thing I had problems with was when he called it well of pleasure. That was my first like, oh no, we're doing that kind of thing. Um and then I had other issues with other things. But to me it was just like I could feel like it was trying really hard to be very romantic, like very swoony, and I didn't super feel the swooniness. So
That's
I don't know.
probably why I liked it.
I thought you guys would love it. Like I was totally expecting both of you to give this 5 stars.
It's exactly why we are like the best buddy companions because like we have similar tastes sometimes, you, me and April, and like same time we don't at the same time. So we
Yeah,
know if you're gonna love something, I'm probably not gonna like it, and vice
yeah,
versa.
yeah.
Like the
But I
romantic
totally,
part,
yeah, like
I'm signed up for that.
but it was funny because reading it, I'm like, this is a well done book. Like the whole time, I like totally
So good.
respect the whole. Well, it's well written. I really liked the audiobook. Like I don't know if you read it on audiobook, Becky,
Mm-mm.
or
I
no.
um I,
Carrie knows us
I read an
too.
ebook. I'm like, how the hell did I read this book? I read it as an ebook.
Yeah,
I did both ebook and audiobook because I was like, sometimes I'm like, I wanted to actually interpret the words myself, and then sometimes I was like, to be honest, the audiobook, I was there for the male character's voice. That's what I was there for.
you know what? I this was one where they have sound effects and music throughout the audiobook, but it
Mhm.
wasn't distracting from the narration. Like it did add like some of the intensity and thriller aspect of it, like when she's running through the East End trying to get to him and stuff like that. Like the music was enhancing those feelings. So I thought it was really well produced.
Yeah. I'd have to say I did struggle in the beginning because it was slower and it was
It was.
more um I appreciate it at the same time because it was kind of familiarizing myself with the culture and just kind of the setting and understanding what was going on in dynamics of the world. Um, but then I also the personalities of the parents, like the mom, like it would say the full name of the mom every time. I'm like, why are we saying the full name of the mom every time? So that was my only thing that was kind of like, I gotta concentrate. But like once I get past that, I was so into it. I think the most best part of it was the character building of and really the interactions between the hero and the heroine, especially their little late night rendezvous meetings are really cool. Meeting on a bench, that
Yeah.
kind of a situation every night. And then of course the letters. I mean, you that's like the sweetest little tropes ever is you're basically falling in love with each other because you're writing to each other and leaving little notes. It's like the sweetest thing ever.
Yeah.
So I love that part. Um, and then I also was intrigued by the parties, but I was like, okay, we kind of everyone on here on the live show, we're gonna go into spoilers, so just prepare yourselves. But um, the part of that interactions was a little strange. Like I kind of knew who the hidden identity was, and I liked those interactions as well. But I didn't see that conflict as well because you didn't get to see her interaction with the rich guy as often to see her be really conflicted. Um, so when the betrayal kind of happened, when he's revealed, it kind of could have been felt a little melodramatic because she wasn't exactly totally infatuated with the rich guy yet anyway. So I would say
Mhm.
the rich guy kind of like the I don't
Yeah,
know how
she
to
had a
say it.
lot more
He was the kind
chemistry
of
with Harlan Crow than she did with
yeah, and
what's his name?
yeah, I forget his
The
name.
Duke
He
of
was
Ravenel? Duke
Duke,
of
yeah,
Ravenel, right?
yeah, Duke
Yeah, but what's
Ravenel.
his
So I like
name?
that. I wanted more of that interaction. So she's truly going to be conflicted and who she's falling in love with, and then you're like, I'm in love with them both. I feel like with the Duke, she kind of was it's kind of like that whole forced to marry a better suited marriage for her. So because it was like a no brainer, she wants the bad boy kind of
I
situation.
had a big problem with that reveal, or like when she finally finds out who
Hmm.
the Duke is, and then who also the same person that Harlan Crow is. Like she knew all the time Harlan was going to be one of these nobles, like one of these nobles, and she likes them both. Like she has feelings for them both. One is like suitable for her, and she gets along with them, and she could tell it could be a budding friendship to more type of thing. And with Harlan, it's like she's got super chemistry for. So when she sits there and gets super angry at him for deceiving her, like, no, 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 no. I didn't buy it. I just didn't buy it at all. Like, I'd be like, great.
Yeah, I get the best of both
No
worlds.
doubt.
Wow, great. And then I must have missed it. Did he
Because
ever
like
promise that he would stop killing bad people for her? Like, I must have
he,
missed that.
I think he does. He said he's like gonna.
Mm,
I think he's doing it in other ways with his power that he has, like helping others. He does this whole, it's revealed he has this whole town.
Yeah.
He's doing a hospital. He's doing all these good deeds. So I don't know. I felt like he's basically your Batman retelling, which
Oh
I
yeah,
think
he's like a
really works well.
vigilante. But
Yeah.
she like leaves him a note and then leaves him saying, "You promised you'd stop. I can't do this." And I was like, "Did he promise he'd I don't even
I
remember you
don't
guys
think
having a
he did.
conversation."
I think
He
he,
did. He hinted at it, and that's why like that
yeah, I
whole
think he
crowd
hinted
thing
at
was
it. Like, oh,
yeah,
I would rather have you than this, but I don't think he ever said the words like, I'll stop.
Yeah. That was just one of the like
it's cool
it
though. That
it
whole
bugged me cuz I was like, "Oh, dude, you should be thankful that the two men." And then he's like, what did she say? She was like, "How could you be with me knowing that I loved another man?" Cuz he knows he's the other man.
but it's I
Like,
could see her head though, but for her though is like you know that I didn't know that though. But you could say like,
She
how
felt
could
like
you
she was
trust
cheating
me?
on him.
Because how could you trust me because you didn't know that I didn't know that.
I know,
So
but like, why would you get mad at
you
him
know that
for
I
that?
didn't know.
But why would you get mad at him for that? He didn't know,
Well, that's I
and
think that's
he
why
did
she
know.
I could totally that's the kind of mind thing I would work is like wait that doesn't matter is what what I was doing you knew that
Yeah,
so for me I was feeling so conflicted and
yeah,
so I could totally see her being like but he's okay with it fine yeah because you're in on the secret not me
yeah.
Mhm.
That
and so
that
here
whole
I am feeling so conflicted over it
yeah,
yeah
that was just like that third act breakup that I could not get behind, just because like it doesn't make sense to me. Like if they'd have just stayed like together or whatever, or even had some of those exterior plot driven things to keep them apart, like I don't know, him getting found out, or like almost going to jail, or you know what I mean. I don't know, something like that. I could have believed that a little bit
Well, see,
more.
I thought the whole reason I didn't catch on the point that he was talking to a fucking gravestone. I thought maybe he was
No,
like
I didn't
in
either.
jail
he
and
Yeah.
like he was confessing because I thought he was because I was like I thought at one point this book was
I could
gonna
see that
end And I was like, okay, well,
And then
then.
it kept going.
And then it kept going, and I'm like, so does he get caught and he's in jail and he's like talking to a priest? Is that? But no.
Oh, that would have been cool too, though. Like, I didn't think
That would
about
have
that.
been
I thought he was
cool.
just in some confessional, not thinking that he's talking
I just
to.
kept thinking, my God, this man is talking to this priest, and this priest never talks at all.
I thought it would have been cool too if he was talking to his own gravestone, to the vigilante's gravestone, but he's not dead.
Oh, like,
That kind of been really
yeah.
cool
Okay.
because he killed
That would have
off
been
his
cool.
vigilante self. Yeah, that would have
That
been
would
kind
have been
of
cool.
very Batman movie esque.
Very Batman-esque. He was Batman, okay? He was like a cool, suave Batman.
So this one I think did so much better than the one we read earlier last year, which oh gosh, the Elizabeth Hoyt series, that whole like Batman thing, the Wicked Intentions.
Oh, I don't
Like
think I
it
read
did
that
that
one.
Batman aspect so well. So I like that. But
Or
no,
or
I
as
just
Steven
yeah.
Bosom likes to call it Darkwing Duke.
Darkwing Duke.
I still can't get over
Oh,
that. It's the best.
Terry's informing us. I'm like, I knew it had to be a culture thing that I wasn't familiar with, but she said it's the way that Russians name themselves. It's not their full name; it's their first name and patronym.
Hmm.
So it's how they address themselves between each other.
Yeah,
Okay.
Russians have a lot of different ways that a lot of different names for like the same
Hmm.
person, how they're referred to.
So that's the kind of thing that I wasn't used to, which is something that I got used, I was introduced to a different way of culture. So that's what I also liked about it, the political aspect and the different cultures, because as you know, most of the time, even though we're in London, we're still learning about a different culture, and that was really refreshing. That was like, okay, even though I struggled a bit, because I know it was something that my learning curve, that's what I really appreciated is like getting to know those kind of things differently. And the whole political part of it of them being expats as that's right, expats where they are coming from another country into there onto
Mhm.
that whole thing. As you know, with their cultures are escaping into that, and then also the current state of that country they're in. So there's definitely parallels even
Yeah, a lot
today.
of it resonated to today, like when they're talking about how those in power have to kind of recognize that they're in power because they're kind of enslaving those below them.
There was
And
a
there was
lot
some,
of quotes that I was like, God damn, this is a little too close to
yeah,
what
I
it is.
highlighted a lot of them too, and I was
They were
like, I
like,
loved those.
the laws are in place to protect the rich. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh
they were
gosh,
like,
I think I heard.
yep.
this is, what did I tell you? This is giving healthcare CEO vibes.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's like the rich see him as
Oh,
a villain and the poor see him as a hero.
Hmm.
yeah, this is where it says he said they on page 78 on I'm guessing the Kindle it said they Rumi nodded upward live in their white entitled world. They she nodded downward simply try to survive. And you are surprised that the one man who can do justice even in his brutal way is hailed a hero. Can
Mm-hmm.
draw some parallels into that, and they are
Yeah,
surprised on why he's being
Mm-hmm.
hailed a hero on that. So,
yeah,
Yeah, this
yeah.
book had a lot to say about like classism.
Hmm.
a lot, a lot. And just how they were like, when the poor actually need someone to help, nobody comes to them.
Mm-hmm.
And how that, and that's why
No one
he's
cares.
also a hero because he's the only one coming to them, coming to help them. And it's not like they're just getting like pickpocketed or anything like that or starving. I mean, they're getting assaulted and killed like these poor people in this district. And I mean, these are horrific crimes that they're going through, and they're getting zero help from the people who are supposed to help them.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just really like a lot of that political stuff was very powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
And
and
I
the other
liked
one.
that part, but I
Mhm.
liked it because it wasn't like banging you over the head, like forcing
Mhm.
you somebody's point of view. It's like just telling you the
Telling.
story, and it's like, wow, this is how it is, you know?
Hmm.
So I
Yeah.
liked that it wasn't like force feeding somebody's opinion to me.
How cute was the housemaid and the what is it? The
The
Russian, the
Yeah,
yeah,
the
the woman.
guy.
the
Yeah.
guy. How cute was it when she's like, "What's the Russian word for this?" Like for stupid idiot, and he's like,
She calls him
"Darling,
handsome all the time.
Handsome.
handsome, lovely." Those two were so cute.
That was adorable.
I think I swooned
Hmm.
more at them than I did the main couple.
I thought they were funny. They were cute.
Yeah.
I liked the couple. I thought they
Um.
had good chemistry. I liked the fact that she wasn't a clueless virgin.
Oh
Version.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. She's already a
Yeah.
woman in her own right in that kind of situation. Because was she a widow?
She's a
Mm-hmm.
widow, right? She was married
She's a
before.
widow,
So
so she already
was
knew it.
her husband the one that made them basically have to leave Russia because he was doing shady things?
Oh wait,
Yeah,
no,
he
it
got
was
killed.
he was yeah, he was doing political things just as much as he's a vigilante, so I
Yeah.
could see her fear of he's
Yeah.
also putting himself in danger and
Yeah.
going to get himself killed by the government. So basically, her husband was executed by the government in just a spy-like
He
way,
went missing
basically.
one day. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like part of he was like a scientist, wasn't he? I think.
I can't remember
I
what
can't
her
remember what he
ex-husband.
was doing, but he was trying to like stir up some question the hierarchy and power and shit like that. Like
Right.
right in the head.
I like
Yeah.
that she was into science. Like we got a STEM here, like a STEM character. Like that's a woman in STEM. I thought that was cool
Yeah.
in a historical romance.
Yeah. With her little.
And I'm pretty sure like the guy I'm pretty sure the guy he was mentioned briefly. It wasn't the doctor that she was helping, but the doctor was like, "Oh, this guy is studying cholera." I'm pretty sure the guy that he mentioned like that briefly is the actual guy who like discovered the cure for cholera.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And it was like, "Oh, it's her." Like he's like, "Oh, I'm passing along your info to him." So I was like, "Oh, so maybe a woman actually
Yeah.
had something and it was just passed on to this guy who,
Well,
you know,
they've
we'll
done
think
that
of."
a lot. They've brought that up in history that women rarely make it was they're usually behind the scenes and you find out years centuries later that they actually had more of a hand and the science of it and such, so it's like the man got the credit, so
Yeah.
because he was the man.
Like, and it was just one line in the book too. Like, it was like her doctor friend was like, "Oh, this man is studying," and I was like, "That name sounds awfully familiar to me."
Really? I didn't catch
I'm
it.
like, I'm pretty sure that's the actual guy who studied cholera. So I found that interesting. I liked how the author, like added those little historical elements to it.
I don't know if you guys felt this way, but I felt it was more like historical fiction romance than historical romance for me. I don't know why. Maybe it was because of a lot of the political stuff and a lot of the deep historical stuff of the era,
Mm-hmm.
but I
Well,
almost
I
got
think
I
more.
think it had a pretty even amount of romance to like
it's
fiction.
kind of like 50-50. Yeah,
Yeah,
Mm,
because
I
it
think
mhm.
did take a
50
while to
was
get
more
into it.
romance. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I feel like once they got to the point where they were, talking and shit like that, their romance became more of a focal point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
think I
like
said in my
that.
blog this was it reminded me of Bridgerton if Bridgerton was a little darker.
See, to me, it wasn't quite Bridgerton-esque. It was more like a darker historical fiction, but with romance.
It
Like
just gave me that vibe because they're in the town. I think they're in Mayfair,
they are, yeah.
and it gave me like the carriage scene and the masquerade ball scene, and then you got the hidden identity of somebody and somebody's a lot. So I've been watching Bridgerton too much, so I'm just like,
That's the other thing. Like the pacing was a little odd for me. It is like yes, 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 more like Outlander-ish, where you get a
Yeah,
lot of history.
definitely not on that level.
Outlander is really more historical fiction, like maybe the
It is
first
very
book.
much, yeah.
Yeah, but
But
not
this
the rest
this
of
one
it.
had way more romance to it to
Yeah,
me
yeah.
than Outlander. But the romance would give you like a little teeny tiny taste, and then it switched completely back over to like all the history and the family stuff. So I felt a little bit
Mhm.
like it was starting and stopping and starting and stopping. I understand she was like trying to build this romantic tension between the two, like getting the hands holding and then like going to the kiss or the light kiss and then the passionate kiss, kind of slowly
Mhm.
like deepening that relationship. It was just more like, I guess, kind of disjointed the romance a little bit with me because they spent so much more time on like the family political aspect of it in between those moments rather than like the next
Yeah.
chapter after that would be like, the next level of their romance.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do think the
Yeah.
letters were cool. Like I loved the
That's
letters.
that's my
And
favorite
then
too.
I think one of the most powerful chapters was when he was describing his first kill. I think that was early on in chapter 7. That was one where I was just like, wow, like this is going to be a powerful book. Like I don't
Yeah.
know, that chapter alone, like I was like, okay, that's a start alone.
Yeah. And I think even like and it kind of comes full circle too at the ending where that whole mob kind of takes down that guy that kind of
Mhm.
basically led out all of his what's it called, his not squad but his all of his team together that was basically murdered besides him. They thought he was killed. Um, but I just thought that was kind of very poetic justice done, getting
Mhm.
Mhm.
mauled by the people. So
I think it
it's
was
a
very
very
true though. Like he gave the people the information they needed
to take control of the town,
to
and so he was
know what
still
was happening.
He gave them
yeah, and he's
power.
still honoring
Yeah.
yeah, he's still honoring his promise to what's her name? I think Imogen. Is that what her name was?
I don't even remember her
Imogen.
name. I never remember the
Mhm.
female's name. Why is that?
I never forget her name.
No, I
Someone
don't
said
think it's
Imogen.
Imogen.
Somebody said Imogen. Now my brain is saying Imogen.
No,
But
that's
yeah,
not it.
he still was able to honor his promise to her, and that's why she like came. That was kind of what
Alina.
stemmed from Nina.
Alina, right?
Yeah, that sounds more like it.
I didn't think that sounded Russian, so yeah,
It
Yeah,
is. I
he
thought it
was
was very
it's more
complex.
complex.
he was
Yeah,
like
which
it was almost like, you have to you have to give people information. Otherwise you
Yeah.
keep them dumb and then you keep them complacent. I'm like, good God, this is ringing too true.
yeah.
Yes. Countess Alina Bronskaya and the Duke of Ravenel.
What's his name though?
I don't know his first name.
Harvin Harvin something.
Stephen? Simon.
Harlan Crow
Is
is
it
his
Simon?
wife's name.
It wasn't in an S.
Sebastian.
I don't freaking know.
See, I
I
tell
think
you
it was
guys, I
Simon.
don't remember characters. Huh?
I think it was Simon.
Neither of you have your book handy?
I
I
didn't.
have it on my
I
phone. I'm
already
trying to pull it up.
returned
Oh.
it.
Mine's across the room and
I already
I
somebody
use
returned it.
look up
my
the
Kindle credit.
synopsis.
I own the
It's
ebook, but
not
I
in
use
the
my Kindle credit.
synopsis.
Damn it. I can't remember his name. I know Harlan Crow.
It
He's
was
still
an
alive.
S. It was an S, I think.
Well, Nikolai is her dad's name.
Yeah. And then her mom's name was another A name, right?
Probably Anna.
Let me see. Is it Simon?
Yeah, Anna or Anna or something
It's
like that.
Simon. That's just one more click for my Bridgerton connection.
Oh wait, and the endearment here was not little something.
No,
It
it was
was
Angel.
Angel. I was like, Becky's gonna love this book just for that
I
alone.
did. I read that and I like flopped my Kindle down and I was just like,
It's not little bird, little butterfly.
yes. No, I was like 5 years old. I was like, oh my god, it
Oh my God,
got
guys!
Angel. So
The
stupid.
Phantom Ball. This had all the
Oh,
tropes that I love.
yeah, the
A masquerade ball,
masquerade.
a little bit of like sensuality. It was just so cute. It was so
Yeah.
adorable.
I
Not
mean,
really
they could have
adorable, but
gotten a
like I
little
was
bit
just
more
like,
frisky
will
against
they
that
won't
wall.
they? That I loved.
They could have gotten a little bit more frisky against that
They
wall.
could have,
Could have raised those
I mean,
skirts
they
a
could have.
little more.
right?
But then you get the carriage scene after, right? That was after.
Which I learned something
Yeah.
very interesting off of a girl off of Instagram. I can't remember. If I can find it, I'll put a comment in after the live. But it's hilarious. But she's like, in reality, when Simon and Colin are in that, not Simon, when Colin and Penelope are in that carriage and everything, they would
Mhm.
actually be dead. They try to do that stuff
I saw
because
that. I'm
the
like, I don't
gravity
think
is
they
just
would
not
be
there.
dead. They'd
They'd
probably
be
just
dead.
be injured.
Those carriages are very smaller. They're a lot smaller than you think they
Yeah,
are.
I don't think they would die. I just think they would be injured.
Well, she said there's not a lot of sus- foundation with those
Yeah, it's
carriages,
top heavy.
Oh,
If they were
the
getting
center of
that,
gravity.
they would crash over.
Yeah.
I'm
love
looking for
it.
this dude's name. Okay.
It's gonna bug me
So
us now. I'm gonna have to get
I
the
didn't
book
find the
again.
name.
It's not Scott. I swear to God, it's an S name.
I know. I feel like it's Sebastian or something. What did you say his last name is? The
Ravenaugh.
Countess Alina. Her name's Alina. Harlan Crow.
Okay, Theo
Harlan.
Van Buren. Oh, Samuel Castle.
Samuel
Samuel!
Castle. I was close. Simon was close.
Okay, Samuel. That's
His
Samuel
name. His name was.
Castle, the Duke
Yeah,
of Ravenaugh.
and I guess
I didn't know who she was going with at first on the noble side. I couldn't tell if it was Samuel or someone else.
no, I knew it was the
yeah,
quiet guy.
Theo Van Buren. I think Theo Van Buren is actually in another book that this author wrote, apparently. And this book is following it's a book within a book. This is actually following the story of the vigilante. So this is that
Oh.
story.
Yeah, she mentioned that the acknowledgments
The
were
author
on that.
Yeah, I
I'm like,
always love
yeah,
reading
I
them.
wasn't that invested. I don't
Yeah.
care.
I think I do have another book in my
Author
Kindle from this author, but I can't remember. I don't know if it's in
That's
here or
that's
not,
kind
but
of
it's
I
more
like reading the
historical.
author's notes because I'm like I want to know like what historical fact like I know Kennedy Ryan does that a lot in the end of her books, and I just love knowing like what was the spark or the idea that inspired this story, what
Yeah.
piece of fact or if that is or personal experience that inspired the whole story to happen.
Yeah, the other one I have in my library is called Tender Kiss of Fate, but it's way more historical romance looking, but also looks kind of contemporary. Like her dress looks contemporary.
From this author.
Yeah, it's just under V Kahany. And it's book 4 of 5, so I probably won't read it. It was another
You have to
Stuff
read
Your
it in
Kindle
order.
Day.
You may not have to read the
She
one
lost it all and sold herself. After a broken marriage, bankruptcy, and social shunning, she chose a life at a luxury house of pleasure over another loveless marriage. You go, girl.
Get that money, honey.
Did she regret it? Not a bit. I'm interested in this now. The other one I saw that I kind of wanted to try from this author was I think the one that she just came out with, The Diamond King.
Oh yeah, it's a standalone. You can read that one. It says.
Is it? It's The
I don't know if
Great
you might like
Gatsby
it
meets
though.
Peaky Blinders. That's what it said.
Which one? The Tender Kiss of Fate?
No, The Diamond King. It says The Great Gatsby meets Peaky Blinders. It's a Victorian forced marriage billionaire romance with mafia themes.
I love that. Wait a second.
To me, it sounds
character
kind of like her
breakdown.
books sound good,
Yeah.
but I'm like, I just need to get out of my own head with everything having to be like quick and I don't know. That's just the type of person I am, though. I don't know. When I read, I want to get to the point. Okay.
I did think this was a very well written story, though.
Oh, it's beautifully
Yeah, the art
written.
and writing is to be.
It was
That was
It was
his thought.
very beautifully written. The themes were on point. I liked the characters. I'm trying to
it's a
remember
male
why.
author.
Mm-hmm.
I think I gave it 4.5 because the beginning was slow and then the ending it like went on longer than I felt like it needed to.
Because they kind of get together and you're like,
Yeah, I'm like, well, they're married now, so that should be
Yeah.
the end of
And
this.
they're in love and everything's good. And then I noticed the audiobook still had an hour and 20 minutes left. And I was like, what the heck is going to happen for the rest of this book?
Yeah.
I actually thought that was they were married with that whole like general thing, right? That was like his last thing to take care of. And I
Hmm.
think that was like an interest. I can see why the author did that because it's drawing the parallels. Like, oh my gosh, is he going to be like my first husband? Oh my gosh, it's happening again, kind of situation. So you kind of think
Hmm.
that's a lot of trauma with
Yeah.
like your the fear happening it again. And I think that's kind of was a good parallel for, and that's probably why he wrote that ending the way he did. But
Hmm.
um, which one is that you're talking about? That's on your TV,
The Diamond King? Is it that one?
the Witch King, the what king?
See, this, knowing that this is a male author, like I'm more shocked now that the romance was good for a male author, but not just for a male author. Like it was just a good romance. Like it really was. Even though
Mm-hmm.
it's a
Oh,
little
you know
fluffy for
what
me.
annoyed me about that? Is I was kind of wondering, like, I couldn't tell if this was a male or a female author, but like in the beginning, he was very focused on the maid and like her body shape. Like, she was chubby, she had big boobs, blah. And I'm like, why are we describing her body so much? Because he never did it for any of the other characters.
Mm. Well,
And I
they
was
said that she's, I
sad.
think the main character is a curvy girl, right? They
But
said she wasn't
but
a
it
small
wasn't
girl.
like none of the other characters were described as in like as so much detail as the one chubby character. I
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
why are we focusing so much on that?
Sometimes it becomes like, when does description end and you're just starting to hyper focus on somebody's body type, you know?
Yeah. Because I'm like, you're not overly focusing on like the mother's body type of being thin and slender. He might have mentioned like, oh, she was tall and willowy, but like, just not a lot of time focusing on that maid's body.
Other than the footman just always being described as extremely giant like very tall and
Yeah.
strong. I'm like, okay, you said that. I loved their the footman's relationship with her though. Like he was kind of her protector and like like a not just an employee, but like you could tell
Mhm.
like he really respected her and kept her
I
secret.
thought it was funny when he asked if like if he approached him and was like wanting to ask for the maid's hand in marriage. She didn't have a fucking clue,
She was so dense.
but her
He was
husband did,
so
and he was
involved in
like,
the
"Oh, I think
royal
it's great." And
business.
she's like, "You knew?" He's like,
Of course, you don't see them.
"Yeah."
And the whole time, well, the whole time they're like these two, you know, like they're fighting like married people.
Yeah, and she was
That
always
makes
like hinting at the maid to be like, wait, what do you think?" And I'm like, "You don't you hello? Are you awake? Open your eyes."
I thought the one time that she actually was at more often, I think with Samuel, was when they went out to that like street fair thing, which I thought was really interesting to see the two different classes being mixed together and the cultures as well. So that was really cool. So that's where that whole where the footman was like holding that stone thing, that big rock, and the
Mhm.
maid was the little cute little looks that he was giving the maid, that
Hmm.
footman guy and her. So yeah, that was
But
cute.
those two were just the only comedic element of this thing, and it was very short and brief, but I just loved it so much.
Samuel was
Yeah,
like,
me too.
Yeah, like her
"Yeah, I
little
can
brother.
hear them through the walls."
Like, didn't you hear that?
It's
He was tired, guys.
like, did you not
It was
know what
tired.
that? You're not a virgin, honey. Did you not hear that? What do you think they were doing?
And what did the mom live with them? No, he was in his house at that point. They were in his estate or whatever
Yeah,
now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he could
okay.
stay then, yeah. Because that was the thing. I think the footman was gonna, when the maid was coming over. At
Yeah.
one point, they weren't going to be, but they
Yeah.
moved
Yeah.
over to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely
And then they had a little
a really good
gray-eyed
one.
baby, apparently.
That epilogue was one of my favorite epilogues of all time because of A, how short it was, and B, it was all about that little gray-eyed baby.
It was
And
like
just,
Purpose
like
and
I
Princess of
love
an
that.
it
epilogue.
was like that's why I love my cat is like going crazy with the I know he doesn't.
Mine was
See,
doing it
that's
yesterday.
yeah, because remember in the beginning, I was like, wait, I got confused. Like, was he talking to a pastor or was he talking to a grave? I thought he was talking to the gravestone the way he was talking about the past, and to the person, like referencing the person in the past, what they did to you. And come to find, he was talking to a gravestone, but he was also a pastor, so I was wrong and right at the same time.
And it was someone he couldn't save, right? Like it was someone he tried
um,
to save and or
I don't.
couldn't
That's
save.
the other thing. Do you remember if he like what how he was involved? Like he was the one that was helping him when he came back, like maybe counseling him, maybe from the war. But I just don't remember how they were interacting.
I don't know what they were to each other.
Yeah,
I can't
maybe
remember.
Terry remembers. You know.
Yeah, maybe Terry remembers. What was the relationship of the preacher or the what do they call him? Pastor,
Priest.
preacher?
Yeah, that priest. Yeah, yeah, he's a Catholic.
To Harlan Crow. Because I thought in one of the chapters it said, or one of the last chapters, obviously, because there's only one chapter where he kind of has this revelation where you see him talking to the tombstone, was that I'm sorry I couldn't do something for you or something like that.
I feel like I gotta go back and
I
reread
can't
that part.
remember.
I can't remember.
It was one
What
of
was
the.
it?
I'm sure he must have been one of the men that he was in the army with.
Oh,
Maybe. Oh yeah.
that would make
Oh wait, no, was
sense.
his buddy? The buddy that was so nice to everybody from that. Oh my gosh, because the soldiers that were attacking that family. Do you remember
Did
that
it say
story?
the name of the tombstone?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah,
but like, cause
Maybe it
remember
was
there was
one
a
in his
king that was
company.
I feel
yeah.
like it was one of the soldiers
Crow or
that
Oh,
he was in the war with. It
or
could
the
have
wasn't
been
the kid
friends
that he
became part of
named.
the
It
team,
wasn't
right?
the kid that he named himself after.
it wasn't that
It
kid.
wasn't
It
Okay.
that.
wasn't that
It was
kid.
that guy. Oh, okay. I thought maybe it was that guy he named his vigilante name after.
No, it wasn't him. Was it the
Yeah,
guy
'cause
that when they were in that house and he and this other guy went to like the chicken coop and all the other
yeah,
soldiers froze to death? Was it that guy?
that's what I'm thinking. Well, yeah, that was his friend, but
Oh.
Was he a
or maybe it was
priest?
just kind of his mentor. That's what I was thinking. Is maybe was he was just like the
Oh.
counselor that kind of saved him after the war, maybe because
Oh.
PTSD.
Okay.
But I don't
Like
know.
all of these things would have been cool to read. Like whether they happened or not. These all would have been cool revelations.
I'm gonna
Oh my
find
god, there's like so many things that like went on in this book that I'm like, oh yeah, that part, that was the flashback from that.
There
That's
was like just a lot of little great moments. Like just a lot of little great
because
moments.
this is gonna drive me crazy if I don't find out the answer.
Yeah.
I know, right?
I am actually sad that this wasn't my new like favorite book because of Patricia. Like Patricia was always like, if you don't like this book, April, I don't think I can hear it. She's like, I don't think I can
Terry
hear
too,
it.
like yeah, because Terry and Patricia, that's who the other person was. So it was like I couldn't remember. Someone else recommended Terry and yeah,
Yeah,
Patricia
both
was the two
Terry and
that
Patricia.
I
It
don't
was
know
like
where I
there was
heard
so
about this
much
book.
pressure, and maybe that's why I really don't want to hate it like at all. I really wanted to like absolutely love it. So it's like, oh, the pressure is on.
I don't know where I heard about this book, but it was on my TBR list, and I was waiting
It's
for it to be free, and it just never was. So I bought it. I paid like $4 for this ebook.
um I heard about it a long time ago. I don't know if it was from Patricia or a Stuff Your Kindle Day or something like that. I read the KU version. So, but it's been on my Kindle like TBR for a very long time, like a year almost, maybe. I don't know. It's like a
from
long
the
time.
first. I think
Yeah,
from the first the historical fiction marathon that Maggie hosted, the historical
yeah,
romance one she did. Yeah,
yeah.
from the
It was
first one.
on. Yeah, and it was just a book I didn't get to.
Patricia.
You know, but I did. I did. I want to say, like, even though it's like I'm still giving it a 4 star. Like, I recognize this is a incredible book. Like, it's very well written, very well done. I think a lot of people would absolutely love it. It's just like, you know me, like I am a very like right, especially right now. I love a snappy plot. I want an adventure, and there wasn't enough of an adventure here for me to like really be sucked into it. But I can slowly plot along with it and like enjoy it. And also, you know me, I like to turn my brain off when I read, and I feel like this one you do have to kind of turn your brain on a little bit.
This one makes you see the
Think
world.
about things.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does
this
make
is
you
where I
think.
say you're definitely learning through. Oh gosh, there's something I tell my son all the time. That's like a common phrase. Is there's learning through reading is like learning through imagination, and learning through nonfiction is learning by. Oh gosh, someone knows it better than I do, but I can't remember.
Yeah,
But there's a phrase that I like to say to like no matter what, you're getting smarter. Either you're getting more like better.
Nonfiction is learning through facts.
Yes.
Fiction is learning through imagination.
there you
Yeah.
go.
And empathy. Yeah. So you're learning empathy and things like that. So.
Oh yeah.
What was this guy? Was he a pastor? Was he a priest?
And
Was it
here's the thing, like
yeah.
it's so funny because I love slow drama historical movies and TV shows. Like
Mhm.
absolutely eat those up watching them. I am along for the ride the whole time, but for some reason in books, maybe it's because I read right before bed, maybe it's just because I'm a plot driven reader. Like I just need something carrying it along a little more than just feelings. You know what I mean? Like I
Oh
just need a
gosh.
little bit more.
'Cause you love the drama.
Yeah.
Drama, the action drama.
Yeah, I just need a little action in there, which was what I got when he was kind of recollecting the girl with the flowers. Um, the first time he killed someone, and you got to see through his eyes those scenes playing out, and then I could visualize it in my brain parts, and
Hmm.
I
Okay,
think
his
that's why those
name
scenes are
was
good for me.
Reverend John Pierce. So
Hmm.
let me figure out if John Pierce was mentioned anywhere else in this damn book.
I bet you it
He
was a
did.
mentor.
John
Because I was trying to look up spoilers too. Go back into Goodreads and like look at this if there's anyone that marked spoilers. Because like I can't remember. Does anyone mention this pastor guy in the connection? Because I don't know if I missed it.
If it is mentioned, it's subtle, and I notice that's what this writer does a lot, is has a lot of subtle
Like you'd
um
have to do a reread to maybe
yeah.
get better.
his
You
name
would
is
catch on a reread. The
Which
dark
is
stuff
kind of
was
what I
up
like.
my alley, by the way. I really liked it. I was mad there wasn't more. Okay.
I thought he was a Catholic priest and said that he was professional. Yeah.
That's what I thought. I thought he was in a confessional because he kept
For
saying
one bit,
father, father, father.
yeah, and then I thought maybe he was just talking to his father because I'm like maybe he's talking to his dad's gravestone because like the way he was saying certain things about what happened to you, like maybe it was more personal. So it's like, oh,
Because it is like he's confessing in the beginning, especially in the beginning. It is like he's confessing. It feels that way. So yeah, I'm with you, Terry. I thought he was in a confessional. Like confessing his sins, so maybe he could be like that was his last hurrah, saying goodbye to Harlan Crow since he has this new life with the Countess now, and something like that. Like that's what I was
mhm.
thinking. He's like, why, where it came from, what I did, how we met, and why I'm stopping is like kind of what I thought was going to happen, I guess. And then
So
the flowers for the devil, the actual phrase of that, where that comes from, we see at the end is the townspeople putting flowers at the base of the statue and then putting his clothes on the statue as if it's him. I thought that was so beautiful and powerful.
That was awesome. Like,
it just says that he was his
Becky's gonna find it. She's gonna find it.
I'm determined. It just says at the end, a teacher and a man of God, the leader of the St. James Hill Parish.
I wonder if it's the person that nursed him back to health, like to himself after the devastation of him losing his company. You know,
Maybe.
I'm wondering if it's the priest was that person for him,
Hmm.
Because I can't find it anywhere else.
or the father, I should say.
It said that was his best friend.
Hmm. Hmm. No, they're fighting.
All right.
Yeah, that's
So,
all I got.
okay. So, any other thoughts? Or
I'm glad you made me read this.
It
You
was
didn't
a
make
good
me read
story.
this, but I'm glad I read it.
It was a good pick. I liked it.
yes, yes.
I told my
I
mom
love
to
it.
read it.
Yeah. I
Yes.
like that. Whenever like the cover or like the title of the book comes as, it makes sense at the end. I love that.
Oh, that kind of sparked something though, because some of the titles for the chapters was a bit spoilery.
Yeah, I can see that.
It wasn't
Yeah.
subtle enough for a little bit, but it's okay. So, do we want to pick our next book?
I think we know what our next book is.
Don't say Onyx Storm because I don't know
We
if I could do two live shows with I'm already in Jess's live show on the 16th for that. I will say.
oh, could we had already chosen Onyx
Did
Storm?
we really? I mean, I'll do it
Yeah.
twice. I'll do it twice. It's okay.
I get it. Fine. I get it.
I just feel like my month is gonna be so consumed with this book, and I was like, can I do another one?
Chances are, whatever you pick, I will not be reading it.
That's true. And you haven't really been in a fantasy romance mood lately, huh?
You tend to pick like fantasy books that are in series, and I'm like, nope.
That's true.
Oh.
Well, we were
Yeah.
obsessed with Spark of the Everflame, so we had to.
I figured you were gonna pick like the fourth or seventh book in that series.
It's not
It was not
out
out
yet.
yet.
Yeah.
We would if it's not out yet. Um,
I mean, no, we could do Onyx Storm. That's fine. You're right. We did pick it.
um, yeah, we'll see. Well, I guess that's the question is we're gonna do a like a reading sprint, and I don't want people to try to spoil it while we're reading it. So,
Because
um,
honestly, I will probably be done with it before February. That's true. Like, I'll probably be
well, I
done with
think we
it
were
before
I was
February.
trying to aim. I think we were talking about it like something in like the first full week of February, so that we wouldn't wait too long. Um,
Oh, like for the next one, instead of doing it at the end of the month, do it at the beginning of the month?
yeah, but there's a book that I need to read that I know you like, but I don't know if you want to read it again.
What?
There's it's a YA.
Oh, read it again?
Yeah, I don't know if you like the Mary Pierce one.
Oh, Mary E. Pearson. Which one, though? The first
Yeah,
one?
it's
The
the
Remnant
Kiss
Chronicles?
Remnant Chronicles. Yeah, I don't know if you want to read that one or not. We could decide. We could decide later. I mean, because Onyx Storm is gonna take up the month for everyone, so we can
It's
choose
definitely
for
going to
some.
take out the rest of this month for me.
What is it?
Probably. Onyx
What?
Storm.
It's gonna take up the rest of your month.
Because I plan on reading it like Wednesday. Because my
Yeah, I'm gonna
mail
try and
doesn't
read
get
it.
here till late, so.
Yeah, I won't be able to read it till probably on next Friday. So I'm like, because I have to
Oh,
work,
yeah.
so like, I won't get any free time until Friday night.
I know. I was just thinking everyone's going to be doing that book.
I'm like,
I
I'm
won't.
gonna be basically
Becky won't, but
offline
yeah.
for like a week or two, so I don't get spoiled.
Yeah. Well, here's what I was like. Honestly, this is what I was thinking too. The other book that I was thinking of was Anathema by Carrie Lake.
Oh, I
hmm
want to read that.
Yeah, I've been wanting to read that, and either that or The Poisoner.
What is that?
The Poisoner, she's like a hobby herbalist who poisons bad people, and like the guy is her mark, and he's also kind of a bad people unaliver.
I've never
See,
heard of that one.
Anathema. I would love to read another Carrie Lake.
Right? It's Carrie Lake.
Yeah, I've been meaning to try more Carrie Lake too, and I just don't.
You want to do
And that
Anathema?
one's a first book, Becky.
I
There you
know.
go. It's first book.
Nice.
So that was my thinking. So like maybe the people can decide. Should we put a poll up? Yeah. Should we put a
As in
do
this
you want me to put a poll up on my channel? I could put a poll up on my channel and my Instagram. And maybe we'll have people decide what should be the next Mood Readers Book Club book. Onyx Storm or maybe Anathema, because like I honestly think I would really enjoy reading that.
Yeah, I think. Well, do you want to put Onyx Storm or do you want to put something else? Because I know we don't. If you're gonna be.
It's up to you. I know you said, but we already planned to do that. This is where April ruins all plans.
I was like, okay, I'm part of the Cool Club's kid at this point, right?
This is what happens when we're mood readers. I'm like, it's gonna be February, and I'm probably already gonna be done with that book. But then
Well,
I could also be ahead.
Because we can do it for the 23rd, maybe, of February.
Oh
Because I know
no,
you said
I'm
you're
gonna be gone.
All right, the romance
That's
is
right.
fine.
Okay. Here's the thing. Let's stick with the plan. Onyx
Is
Storm.
there any authors that you need to read books by that you're going to your romanticy thing?
Yeah, maybe we
I've
can do that.
been reading a lot of them, honestly. I still have authors I want to read from, but they're all very, very unknown.
And
Okay, I don't know if you'll be down for this one. I don't think you will be. But Karina Halley's next book, Death Valley. But it has zombies and it's a Western. Thriller, horror,
You know what?
romance.
I think. Wait, what's the other one? You already read that one, though, right? The other one she just released?
Ravager? The Viking
Ravager?
one? I have not. It's
No.
on my
No, not that one, but the
Grave
gosh,
Matter.
there's a trad one getting published too. No, the Grim something.
Grave Matter.
Grave Matter, yeah. Because you read that one.
The
right?
one where she's with the mushrooms.
Yeah, you read that one.
Yeah, that was so good.
Maybe we can do Anathema and put this one up. What you call it? Death Valley. So they're both kind of similar-ish vibes, maybe.
Because Death Valley isn't really fantasy romance. It's like more like Western horror romance.
Oh, it's totally.
She said zombies, and I said okay. That's how that went.
Wait, is it not like a romance?
It's not gonna be your thing. I don't think it's gonna be your thing. So I'll read that on my
probably
own.
got some like kinky zombie romance in it.
Maybe I would.
No, what I think honestly, it's not gonna be like romance with zombies. I think there's gonna be like in a post-apocalyptic Western world, kind of like Westworld, and there's zombies around. That's what I think it is.
Okay. I kind of want to read that one.
But we don't have to read that. That's just one I know I'm going to be reading next month because I want to read it as soon as it comes out. That's an April book.
What's the other one that I have not been reading yet that I...
Things are happening in my house. Sorry.
Ooh, have you guys
I can't
read
recommend
Trial of
anything
Sunshine?
for you because y'all don't like anything I recommend.
Okay,
I still need
of
to read your
Sunshine.
book. I really want to read the Mind Palace one.
Yeah, but that's not a fantasy romance. I can't recommend
Not at
it for you.
all. It's not at all. And it's not even a romance? Is it a
No,
romance?
it's not even a romance.
That's
no.
what I didn't think so. Like, so I have to be in the mood for it.
What about Trial of the Sun Queen by...
I mean, I didn't send it to you just willy-nilly. You entered a giveaway for it.
I want to read it. I want to read it. That's why I entered it. Sorry. Sorry, Crystal.
What are we talking about? I'm so confused.
I entered a giveaway for a book from Becky, and I won. Now I'm like, oh, when I feel like I want to read it.
It's not a romance, so I got to be in the mood to read it. I'm like, well, what'd you enter the giveaway for? You weirdo.
I do read non-romance books occasionally, okay?
It'd be like, oh, Becky sent me this book. Yeah,
I
because you entered a giveaway and won.
It's on my shelf to read, okay? What's also funny is I also don't read physical books that much.
Why did you enter the giveaway? You're just one of those people who sees free stuff and you're like, ooh,
Free!
let me enter this and see if I can win
Yes!
this free stuff.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Trial of the
Okay.
Sun Queen?
Yeah. Have you read that?
I have not.
So we
I
could
actually
do
just read a different book from Nisha J. Tooley, and it was so good.
okay. So that was recommended. So we could do Anathema or Trial of the Sun Queen. We could put it to a vote too, like a post or
Okay,
something.
I'll post it.
Because I'm excited for both. So I'm like, and one of them, I'll read one of them for February. I'm cool with that.
Okay, sounds good. And yes, the
I
live
don't want you to get
show.
tired of talking about Onyx
These
Storm.
are radical
I
suggestions.
just feel like I'm gonna be so Onyx Stormed out like by the end of the month, and that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like that live show would be by the end of the month because I'm already like almost there with social media talking about Onyx Storm, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why I'm like I better just knock this book out.
That's kind of why I want to go dark for the next. Oh my gosh. Unless I'm posting a YouTube video or something, I don't want to be on social. So I won't be. I'll probably check just to see if I got a message,
Uh,
but like I don't want to miss
Somehow
anything.
I never see spoilers or anything. Somehow I even if people talk about it, I just swipe. I'm like, okay, it's fine. I know Becky
Well,
doesn't
it
care about spoilers.
happened where like
Becky's here
content
Yeah,
was
for
I
kind
don't
all
of
even
the
care about
spoilers.
this book, but I'll go look up spoilers for it anyway.
Yeah.
I don't want. I want to be actual in the be part of the cool kids, but I also want to be not spoiled by the cool kids. So I just want to be like
I
part
just
of
need a
the
book to
cool
come along that I can
thing.
join the cool kids.
Yeah, I know. I know. Hopefully, Anathema.
I'm like, I don't like any of these books the cool kids are reading.
Well, they're like a certain type of book too. Like to me, they're like all very similar in feeling. They are what I call a CW show. Like
Hmm.
if they're all that type of super melodrama, drawn
Easy
out,
to read. Yeah.
easy to read, but not very like chaotic
I
or
wanted to like
confusing.
Fourth Wing. I wanted to be part of the cool
I
club.
know. I don't like Fourth Wing because it's great.
And I hated it. I'm like, God damn
Hey,
it, I
my
can't even
reread, I'm
join the
like,
club now.
yeah, I can see why people don't like it because I'm getting annoyed, but I'm like, I
It's
don't care. It's too fun.
it's just a fun book. Like I don't
It's
consider
fun.
it like
I didn't have fun.
crazy literature greatness. I just think it's freaking hilarious and a train wreck, and I love it. I'm here for the train wreck.
Yeah.
It's like I can't even jump on the Quicksilver train because I'm like, everything I hear about this, I'm like, I'm gonna hate this book.
Really? You think you're gonna hate it? I mean, I don't know.
I think I am, and that's why I don't want to read it.
Yeah, it's okay. We don't have to like all the things.
No, but I want to. I
Yeah, I
want to
know
read
you want to.
something. I want to be
Yeah,
part of the cool kids.
yeah.
Well,
I always feel left out of the cool kid club.
you might be one that actually finds you find the underrated ones that people never would have heard of
Yeah, but
before.
nobody
And
else wants
so
to love those books, so it's just me over here like being the
you read
lone
it
flag
and it's
bearer of the
fun.
team over here. Nobody wants to join the club with me. Like I want to be part of an overly zealous, hyped fanatic crew, and the only thing I could say that I am is probably Akatar. Where's my fifth book?
Yeah.
True.
You want the fandom. You want to
I want
find
this fandom, damn
you
it.
want to find your fandom that
I
you can
found it
just
with
get lost in.
Akatar, but now I'm just like twiddling my thumbs waiting for the next book.
And see, I'm over here like whereas like I really like these books, but I don't think I'm a fandom person because like I'm like, okay, what's the next one? What's the next one I can get enjoyment
I
from?
mean, I got
I
shirts.
think
When I start
Akatar is
buying
more fun.
merch, that's the problem.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah, and fan art can be hard to find, but now you're like, well, now everything's AI, so now I can't even enjoy the fan art. Like, and I
oh,
feel guilty
I
for
mean, I
it.
enjoy it still. I was just telling Jackie about that the other day, or on our live last night. We were talking about Akatar and it turning into a show, and I'm like, honestly, probably unpopular opinion, but they could AI generate that damn thing, and I think it'd be better than actual humans.
it's just it won't ever live up to
And
it
that's
won't ever live up to anything the fandom wants.
no.
It won't possibly ever.
That's why
I
it needs to look incredibly unrealistic.
yeah. I don't think they'll any like when it comes out, it will be hated on so badly, no
Mhm.
matter
I can
how well
imagine.
it's done.
That or they just need to like drop it suddenly, like give you no warning. Be like, here it
Which
is,
one are you talking about?
Akatar, like a
Avatar.
TV show of it.
I just don't
Well, I
think
think
it'll be.
Fourth Wing, either Quicksilver or Fourth Wing is more apt to get done first than anything
Oh, I'm
else.
sure. Yeah.
But all of these things are still in such baby beginning stages of production that it's unreal.
Yeah.
Like, I would not be holding my breath that any of these are coming out yet, like at all.
Mhm.
And at the same time, I kind of don't want care to because sometimes they ruin it. A lot of times they're ruining the experience.
Well,
So,
Jackie said something. She's like, I don't want a person to claim ownership of these fictional characters.
yeah.
I was like, yeah, good point.
I don't care.
I do.
Like, I don't think anybody could ruin it for me. I'd just be like, I'm enjoying.
I mean,
Unless it
I'd
was like
probably
a totally
be,
bad show.
I'd
I don't want
probably
it to be a
be
TV
all
show.
about it, but I feel like if they didn't give you like, oh, this is who we're casting and here's behind the scene pic, if they don't give people a chance to hate it and they just here it is,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
I don't.
people can bitch about it less.
I'm one of those. I
I'm
don't
tired
want
of
a
the
mini
TV
series.
shows.
I don't want 7
Why
episodes
can't you
or
make a good movie?
yeah. I don't. I want a movie like a.
Yeah. I don't want to sit through all these TV shows, wait another 2 years, and like just make a movie.
Just make a movie.
Yeah. Like I don't
We
want
can
to
make a
sit through
2-parter, 3-parter.
10
I don't care.
hours.
Just make a movie.
Yeah. You're only going to make 8 episodes anyway, and then make me wait 2-3 years for the next season, which is ridiculous.
I mean, if anything's gonna get readers back into the movie theater, like they did with
Mhm.
Twilight, like they did with Hunger Games, make ACOTAR. You know what I mean? Like, I think ACOTAR or Fourth Wing even now are definitely something that could get people back in the movie theater for, not just these Netflix shows or whatever. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't want to invest our time when they're going to probably take it away after the first season. So it's like, well, that's why you're not going to be winning sales because you're just looking for
Yeah. But I
something to
also
go
would
viral.
not, yeah, I also would not want a cast that I know people of. I want all new actors that I've never
yeah,
seen
yeah,
before that have the charisma, that have, you know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
that would be like, I want to make them stars, you know?
Yeah. Like people keep fan casting like these 40-year-old super popular actors. I'm like, why are you fan casting such old actors?
Exactly. Like when I was seeing like fan cast for Zayden or something like that, I was like, who are you? These people are like almost 50. Stop it.
I'm like, you can't have Henry Cavill be in your fucking movie. He's like 50, okay? You can't.
No.
Oh.
Okay. So, question for you. Because you're going to Romanticon,
Yes, this is the big question. When can I do the next one?
could we want to do a reading sprint and then probably
Because I
the
will be
live show?
yeah, I will be returning on the 23rd, and I just think I'm going to be so tired.
So we could do earlier before your trip, so that way you can take time to read what you want and do
Like
what you
the
want.
weekend of the 14th, like either Friday or Sunday.
Yeah, we could do that. Like I know you had the thing on the 16th, so if you want to do that Friday,
yeah.
and then we could maybe do reading sprints next Friday. The following,
Yes.
the 7th. Yeah.
That way
either
I'll make our
Yeah.
book the book I read right after Onyx Storm. Like I'll do it
Okay.
that way.
Okay, so
Getting a cat harassed over here. It's dinner time. They're
Right?
all on top of me.
This February 7th, is that the Friday you're thinking for reading sprints?
Yes.
And then the 14th for Valentine's Day?
Valentine's Day for
Or the
nice
15th.
juicy fantasy romance.
We could probably do the 5th, maybe the Saturday, because I know people will be out celebrating. So
Oh
maybe
yeah, we could do that too. I'm okay with that too.
Saturday. Okay, we'll probably do like a 4 o'clock or maybe 7 p.m. then. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Becky, are you gonna read Anathema or what's the one? Trial of the Sun Queen, whatever gets picked.
I'm more likely to read Anathema.
Anathema, yeah, or
Anathema.
anathema. Sorry,
Anathema.
anathema. That is how you say it. Anathema.
Anathema. Okay.
I
know.
looked it up on freaking Google one day. I'm like, how do you pronounce this word?
I've heard it so many times with video games, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm much more likely
What
to
does
read
it
that
mean
one.
again? You know?
What's it mean?
Oh,
It
I
has
think it's a strong dislike of somebody, if I'm not correct.
Yeah, it is something like that.
It's like something to do with like a church too. It's like
Something or someone that one vehemently dislikes.
yeah.
okay. Okay. Either one I'm excited about because I want to read those so bad. So
Okay.
either Carrie Lake or the Trial of Sun Queen because you know I love my trials.
Yep. All right.
All right. We got it planned. You're gonna do a post a poll there, so I
I'm
think we're
gonna
good
post a
then.
poll. I will do that right now
Sweet, awesome. All
as
right.
I get
Well,
my dinner ready.
as you're being harassed by getting dinner.
As I get harassed by cats and eat my dinner. Yes, I'll do it
Thanks
right
for
now.
inviting me.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Becky. That was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. I'm
I'm
Jody,
glad
I
we all
appreciate
liked
it.
the book.
Yeah.
All right. I'll
All
see
right,
you
bye
next week.
everyone.
Bye. Ah, I can't stream.